Hello everyone. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the size reduction equipments such as jaw crusher, gyratory crusher, ball mill, roll crusher, hammer mill with the compressional impact, attrition and shear forces. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the solid-solid separation, the different methods and the industrial equipments. Why do we need separation? There are different reasons for separation of solids, but there are two significant reasons. The first one is when we procure or mine the raw materials will be containing different particles and mixed particle shape and size. So in order to segregate the particles and in order to prepare the feed for the crushing equipments and grinding equipments, we need to segregate the particles. As we already discussed, the crushers such as the jaw crusher and gyratory crusher will be requiring the feed in the size of coarse particles. The grinders and the mills, it will be requiring the particle size as feed for intermittent and fine particles. So in order to prepare the feed, we need to segregate the particles. And the second reason is when we discharge the particles from the size reduction equipments, we are having mixed particles and we need to transport to the different places and store it. When we are transporting, in order to make the transportation and storage easier, we need to prepare the segregation process. The segregation process will be helpful in transportation, and as we already discussed, we need to store the coarse particle in the open yard or cover and plinth method, and we need to store the intermittent and fine particles in the bins and silos. Now we move on to the different methods involved in the separation process. The first one is screening. The second one is dense media separation. The third one is magnetic separation, and the fourth one is electrostatic precipitation. Screening is very easy process which will be even available from the domestic kitchens to all chemical process industries. The second one is dense media separation. In dense media separation, the solids are separated based on their specific gravities. The specific gravities will be different for different solids, such as the lighter solids and the denser solids will be there. When we add a media of specific gravity with intermittent specific gravity, so the dense media and the lighter media will be separated. Then we move on to the magnetic separation. In magnetic separation, the ferrous particles will be separated from the different solids when we use the magnets for pulling the ferrous particles, and based on the strength of the magnet, the particles will be classified into different shapes and size. The fourth one is electrostatic precipitation. Electrostatic precipitation is an advanced method for separating the solids. In electrostatic precipitation, we have two plates. The first one is positive and the second one is negative. The plates will be polarized and the particles will be sticking towards the different plates of respective charges. When we want to remove those particles, we have to reverse the charges so that the particles will be collected in the chamber. In this lecture, we give more importance to the screening because screening is easily available, economical, the equipments requires low power and maintenance. The screening equipments can be used to remove the particles as undersized and oversized particles. In screening equipments, when we charge the feed on the screens, the particles having the higher particle size than the screens will be settling on the top of the screens. When the particles are having lower particle sizes, it will be coming down or passing through the openings in the screen, and it is known as the undersized particles. The particles are having the mesh numbers. The mesh numbers is represented as the number of openings per square inch. The higher the mesh number, the lower the opening size of the screen. The screens are classified based on the particles which are fed to the screen, that is intermittent, coarse and the fine particles. Now we move on to the different types of screen. These screens are classified based on the movement of the screens, such as grizzlies, vibratory screens, the gyratory screens, the trommels and the banana screens. Now we move on to the first industrial screening equipment. The first one is grizzlies. Grizzlies are the roughest industrial screening equipment. The grizzlies are mostly useful for screening the rocks and coarse particles. The comb shaped metallic bars are having the wider cross section at the top and narrower cross section at the bottom. In between each bars there is some gaps, and the gaps are of inverse in nature, where the particles move from top to bottom through the gaps, and according to the particle size it will be dropping and collected. The grizzlies are working in a step-by-step comb-shaped metallic bars manner. They are kept in an inclined plane, and the particles which are moving from the top is rolling on the grizzlies and they are settling at the bottom. The particles having under size are collected at the bottom, and having higher size are rolled over to the next grizzlies. There are two types of grizzlies. One is stationary and the other one is moving. In the stationary grizzly there is no power requirement and it is having a problem of breaking of the particles. And in moving grizzlies they are having the efficient and more higher efficiency, and they are most widely used. Now we move on to the vibrating screens. The vibrating screens are the second industrial screens. The vibratory screens are most widely used in all the chemical industries. The vibrating screens are occupying less space and handling more capacity and easy to operate. The vibrating screens are operating at an horizontal manner or an inclined manner. The driving force is given by either by mechanical or electrical drive. Now we move on to the working of the vibratory screen. The vibratory screen is either horizontal or kept at an angle so that the vibratory motions are emitted by either mechanical or electrical forces, and there may be some double or triple deck vibratory screens so that the different particle sizes are easily separated and can be collected at the overhead side. The vibratory screens are vibrated either mechanically or electrically at an frequency of 15,000 to 72,000 per minute. The vibratory screens are more efficient and it can be used everywhere. Now we move on to the third industrial screen, that is gyratory screen. The gyratory screen is either box type or round type. The gyratory screen is having a gyratory motion given by a shaft. The gyratory screen is rotating and the particles which are charged to the top will be sent to each and every deck, and then the particles of oversized will be collected in the side spouts. The particles of undersize will be moving to other decks and then it will be collected to the side spouts. Then the particles will be rotated and the undersized fine particles will be collected at the bottom. Gyratory screens are moving at a frequency of 1450 cycles per minute to and fro. The gentle to and fro motion of the gyratory screens are suitable for the fragile materials. The multi-decked arrangement of the gyratory screens will be suitable for coarse particles and size separation of the finer particles. The gyratory screens are suitable in industries such as the food processing industries, the fertilizer industries, the mineral industries and the pharmaceutical industries. Now we move on to the fourth industrial screening equipment, trommel. The trommels are rotating screens. The trommels are having a cross section of cylindrical or conical. The trommels can be opened from either sides. The trommels will be rotating about their axis and having multiple entry and multiple output. The trommels are rotating with the slowest speed of 15 to 25 rpm. The trommels are having a tilt angle of 5 to 10 degrees and they are having lowest efficiency. The trommels are of two types. The one is compound trommels and the concentric trommels. A new type of double-decked trommels also available. Now we move on to the compound trommels. The compound trommels are the series of single trommels, and the compound trommels are having multiple sized openings. The compound trommels are having the feed point at the coarse side. The multiple feed sizes will be entering and the multiple products will be obtained from the compound trommels. The compound trommels are useful than the concentric trommels so that it is easy to get the product. The compound trommels are most widely used so that the undersized particles will be moving from one compound trommel to the other compound trommel and the easy separation can be obtained. Now we are moving towards the concentric trommels. The concentric trommels are looking like a horizontal cylinder with concentric layers. The concentric cylinder having the innermost layer is having the cross section and opening for the coarse particles. The outermost layer is having the opening for the finer particles. The feed will be charged towards the center and the particles will be rotated. The cylinder will be rotated and the coarse particles will be settled in the inside cylinder and the finer particles will be sent out towards the outermost cylinder. The finer particles, after sending out the final particles, the innermost particles, that is the solid particles, can be taken out with the provision of the opening. That is how the concentric cylinders are working. These trommels are mostly useful in the construction sites and the chemical industries where we have to remove the layers of different particle sizes. Now we move on to the multiple decked concentric trommels. In multiple decked concentric trommels, we are having a slope angles of multiple nature. The angles are of 15 to 25 degrees. The double decked is having a 15 and 25 degrees of angles, so that the progressively decreasing slope will be handling a multiple particle sizes, and then the particle sizes are separated based on the innovative approach, where we will be applying in the construction industries and the chemical process industries, where the different particle sizes has to be collected and sent as a feed for different reactors and the chambers. Now we move on to the flotation process. The flotation is an important separation of the ore particles. When we are having different ore particles and polymetallic nodules, the polymetallic nodules are mostly present inside the oceans, where the small nodules are having the different metals such as lead, copper, zinc and other valuable metals. In order to extract those valuable ore particles and the metallic particles, we need to make it as a flotation process. The flotation process is bringing the ore particles towards the surface with the help of an air bubbles. When we are inserting the air bubbles, the particles will get stick to the air bubbles and it will be coming towards the top. So this is the flotation process, and it can be of two types. The first one is direct flotation and the second one is reverse flotation. In the direct flotation process, the particles the ores are sticking towards the air particles and it is coming towards the top, and the other particles such as the gangue and other impurity particles will be settling in the tailings and it can be removed separately. In the reverse flotation process, the tailing contains the metallic nodules. The particles or gangue or impurity particles will be going towards the top and settling at the surface. Now we move on to the mechanism of froth flotation process. The froth flotation mainly depends upon the wettability of different particles. That is ore we are having the different wettability and the gangue particles will be having different wettability. The wettability is based on the hydrophobic and the hydrophilic nature of the particles. When we are having the hydrophobic, the particles are having the valuable metals. The hydrophobic particles will be sticking towards the bubbles. The bubbles will be moving towards the surface and it gets collected in the collecting concentrated launder. The other particles, which are gangue particles, will be going down and they will be settled as a tailings and it will be removed. So this is how the mechanism of froth flotation is taking place, and we are able to extract the valuable polymetallic nodules. Let's come to the end of the session. I hope you have understood the solid-solid separation process with special importance to the screening process and flotation process. In the upcoming lecture series, we are going to discuss the gas-solid separation. Thank you.